Jenna looked me in the eye. Are the vapor trails just scratches on the sky? She dug a hole to fill it in, asked the brother and the town.
No, singing came first. Singing came young, through listening to the Beatles' Red and Blue albums, and me and my brother sang together. So because he was 2 years older, he played John, I played Paul, and we learned very quickly to sing. No, I picked up a guitar much later, probably when I was about 14 or 15, and that was purely down to R.E.M. First time I heard them, that was me. I wanted to learn all the songs.
These may be dark times, but we are all on your side.
It's the kind of music I listen to. I've always been drawn to what's going on in the background. You know, the voice in the background. You know, listen to the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and there was always these wonderful voices in the background. And yeah, it's just everyone I tend to listen to uses vocals in that way, and I've done the same. When I write a song, I'm thinking about where harmonies will go and where they'll fit in. Sometimes they don't fit in, but yeah, I quite like that sound. I like that oral sound of lots of voices, even if they are just my voices. Well, when I play live, it's like listening to the basic track on a recording. It's just me, but the tracks can vary when I play them live. So I may sing a verse, which is the main part of the song, and then the second verse I might be singing the harmony part instead. So it gives it a wee bit of variety, and I think the songs work okay on their own. But certainly when I record them, I want them to be as full as possible. It coincided with my first visit here. I turned 40 in March, and as a gift, I got a recording session here, got recording time here, and as another gift, whisked down to Liverpool with my wife and friends, and we stayed in the Hard Day's Night Hotel. We avoided Liam Gallagher like the plague. Maybe I shouldn't say that. He was staying at the same time as us. BDI were playing in Liverpool. So on the same night that Liam Gallagher, the world's second greatest Beatles fan, played the University, I played the Cavern. And again, that just came about purely by chance. My wife very kindly asked the performer that night if I could play. I got up, and it was it was a dream come true to stand roughly where they would have stood. Basic tunings, yeah. I don't drop many. No standard tunings. Again, not being a reader of music, my technical ability is limited to the 6 strings. Tuned the way they would normally be tuned. So yeah, I use a capo for a few of my songs. You know, in something like Sugar, I've got my capo all the way up, you know, on the 6th fret. Yeah, I use it sparingly, but yeah, tunings are kept minimal. I've always got the same answer. It's the Beatles come first, and then everything spawned from that. So I love bands like the Posies, who never became terribly well known, but 2 incredible songwriters, great music. R.E.M. were always a kind of mainstay with me. The Go-Betweens, and all these influences I think kind of shine through. Neil Finn, Crowded House, those artists, those kind of songsmiths who are striving to write good melodies and play with words a little bit. So yeah, those kind of bands, guitar-based bands, harmony-laden vocals. You know, probably one of my favourite bands of all time is a band called Jellyfish from San Francisco, who only released 2 albums, but great vocals and harmonies and interesting instruments being used, plus one of the greatest stand-up drummers I've ever seen. So yeah. If I had a higher register in my voice, I'd be I'd be making music like that.
Find the way to my soul. Find yourself.
That song was, I don't really have stories about my songs, and the lyrics, although the lyrics are very important, the lyrics never come first. It's always a melody. I'll have a melody in my head, and normally I'm inspired by a line that I'll write, and then it tends to follow. Something like Sugar was in my head. That song's kind of about having an addictive personality. So sugar could be anything. Sugar could be a drug, it could be a person, and in my head I see it like a little film. This thing is creeping towards whoever it is in the song, so it crosses the lawn, it gets to the door, it's in the hall, it's, you know, it's at the room, and eventually it's in you. So it could be music. It's quite a dark song, but when I wrote it, it was one of the slightly darker things that I think I had done. Yeah, words just kind of tend to fall into place. I'm a teacher, so I'm always around words. I might not be the most articulate person speaking, but I quite like words on a page, and they might not mean anything, but maybe the sound of the words is quite important as well. I always loved Michael Stipe's early non-lyrics, where he didn't say anything, but the sound of the words was great. Someone like Neil Finn doesn't really write songs, in my mind he doesn't really write songs about anything, but my God, he's got a wonderful way of capturing an image, just using, you know, keywords. So I try and do that. I'm a kind of copycat songwriter.
And it's always been too late.
I know I don't have words of other people going around in my head. You know, I go through wee phases where I want to listen to the same artist over and over and over, and the sound of a voice and a well-chosen phrase. Yeah, I listen. You can't go wrong with Lennon and McCartney. Either of them had a choice, a great choice of songs. Probably something that does stick out is a Crowded House song called Fingers of Love, and there's a line in it which simply, the line is, the chiming of a perfect chord had me falling overboard, and it's just, you can hear the chord, you can imagine it. It's the beauty of music and what it does to you, I suppose. I'd blast out something. I'd blast out something very noisy. Probably Husker Du, old Bob Mould's old band, Minneapolis 3-piece. I'd blast out something like, oh crikey, I don't know. Could You Be the One from their last album? It's got paper thin drums. It's got the fuzziest guitars and the most melodic scream you've ever heard. So yeah, I'd blast something like that out, and I would drum very hard on my sporty steering wheel.
Dive down, come up for air, then sink back down again. You've got to. Everyone